Picture this, a dimly lit, upscale restaurant, the clink of silverware against fine china, soft murmurs of conversation, and then, bam, a waiter's tray crashes to the floor, shattering the ambience. But that's not the real shocker. What happens next will leave you breathless. Our story begins with Jake, a struggling waiter barely making ends meet, night after night. He serves the city's elite, dreaming of a better life. Little does he know, his world is about to be turned upside down. Enter Mr. Blackwell, the billionaire CEO of a tech empire. He's a regular at the restaurant. Known for his icy demeanor and deep pockets, Jake's used to serving him, but tonight's different. As he approaches Mr. Blackwell's table, something catches his eye, a familiar face in an unfamiliar place. There, peeking out of Mr. Blackwell's wallet, is a photo. A photo of someone Jake knows all too well. His heart races. His palms sweat. The words tumble out before he can stop them. "Sir, why is my mother's picture in your wallet?" Time freezes. The restaurant falls silent. Blackwell's face turns ashen. Jake's hands shake, nearly dropping the bottle of expensive wine he's holding. The tension is so thick you could cut it with a knife. Mr. Blackwell clears his throat, his usual confidence shattered. I think we need to talk." He stammers. Jake's mind is reeling. What could this mean? Is Mr. Blackwell his long-lost father? A secret admirer of his mother, or something far more sinister? As Jake takes a seat across from the billionaire, the story that unfolds is beyond anything he could have imagined. Mr. Blackwell begins to speak, his voice low and filled with emotion. 25 years ago, I made a terrible mistake." We flash back to a younger Mr. Blackwell, then just a struggling entrepreneur. He's at a crossroads, desperate for funding to launch his tech startup. That's when he meets Jake's mother, a brilliant computer scientist with a groundbreaking algorithm. To form a partnership, working late nights and early mornings to perfect their creation. But as success looms on the horizon, greed rears its ugly head. Mr. Blackwell, seduced by the promise of wealth and power, makes a fateful decision. One night, while Jake's mother sleeps, Mr. Blackwell copies her work and flees. He presents the algorithm as his own, securing millions in funding. His company skyrockets to success, built on a foundation of lies and betrayal. Back in the present, Jake's fists clench under the table. His eyes burn with fury. "You stole from her," he hisses. "You ruined our lives, Mr." Blackwell hangs his head in shame. "I've regretted it every day since," he whispers. But the story doesn't end there. Blackwell reveals that he's been searching for Jake's mother for years, desperate to make amends. The photo in his wallet, a reminder of his greatest sin and his deepest regret. Jake's mind is spinning. His whole life, he's struggled to support himself and his mother. And all this time, the man responsible for their hardship has been dining in luxury, haunted by his past. Blackwell reaches into his jacket and pulls out a thick envelope. "This is everything," he says, his voice cracking. "The truth about the algorithm, proof of your mother's work, and a check. It's not nearly enough, but it's a start." Jake stares at the envelope, his emotions a whirlwind of anger, confusion, and disbelief. Does he accept this olive branch, or does he expose Mr. Blackwell's fraud to the world? As he wrestles with this impossible decision, the restaurant around them fades away. It's just Jake, Mr. Blackwell, and the weight of a quarter-century of secrets between them. What happens next will shock you. Jake slowly reaches for the envelope, his hand trembling. But instead of taking it, he does something unexpected. He pushes it back towards Mr. Blackwell. "I don't want your money," Jake says, his voice steady despite the storm of emotions inside him. "What I want is justice. For my mother. For all the years we struggled while you lived in luxury." Blackwell's eyes widen. He knows what this means. His empire, his reputation, everything he's built on lies. It's all about to come crashing down. But then, Jake leans in close, his voice barely above a whisper. "But I'm going to give you a chance. The chance my mother never got. You have 1 week to make this right. To give her the credit she deserves. To tell the world the truth." Mr. Blackwell nods, a mix of relief and dread on his face, as Jake stands to leave. The billionaire calls out, "Wait, how can I contact you? Your mother." Jake turns. A glimmer of something, hope, revenge, in his eyes. "You're a billionaire," he says coolly. "Figure it out." As Jake walks away, leaving Mr. Blackwell alone with his guilt and his expensive wine, the air crackles with possibility. What will happen in the next 7 days? Will Mr. Blackwell come clean? Will Jake's mother finally get the recognition she deserves? One thing's for sure, nothing will ever be the same. For Jake, for Mr. Blackwell, for the tech world, and maybe for all of us. The clock is ticking, the truth is coming, and when it does, it'll be more explosive than any Silicon Valley startup launch. So, what would you do if you were Jake? Would you take the money and run, expose the fraud immediately, or give Mr. Blackwell one last chance at redemption? This isn't just a story about a waiter and a billionaire. It's a tale of justice, redemption, and the power of truth, and it's a reminder that sometimes the most important conversations of our lives can happen in the most unexpected places. As the restaurant's door swings shut behind Jake, we're left with a final, chilling thought. How many other secrets are hiding in the wallets of the wealthy? How many lives have been changed by a single decision made decades ago? The next time you're out to eat, take a good look at the people around you. The waiter serving your meal might just be one question away from changing the world. And the person at the next table, they might be hiding a secret that could rewrite history. In a world where appearances can be deceiving and fortunes can be built on lies, sometimes it takes a simple question to bring everything crashing down. Sir, why is my mother's picture in your wallet? 8 words that started as a whisper but might end in a roar heard round the world. Stay tuned, because this story is far from over. The next 7 days will determine the fate of a tech empire, the legacy of a brilliant scientist, and the future of a young man who dared to ask the question that changed everything. Remember, in life, as in this restaurant, the most important thing on the menu is often the truth. And sometimes, it's served with a side of justice.